If you aren't already aware, they just released a dev preview for Phasmophobia again. They're coming out with changes a lot quicker, but there's a couple things that I want to talk about, specifically with the evidence types and how they're changing them, and also some suggested ways I would like to change them. First off, we'll start with the thermometers. The thermometer tier 1 level has always been overpowered since they added the leveling system. It is placeable, which is a big problem because none of the other ones are. You can set it and forget it. It also is 100% accurate. They already plan to fix some of them in their own way. So, from what I've seen, the plan is to add some randomness to tier 1 thermometer. Also, tier 2 and tier 3 will be able to be pressed and held so it continues to update so you're not pressing it every time, which is a good change. That'll help a lot. That'll be nice. And then the tier 3 will just be more accurate, so you won't have that bigger variation where I guess they'll probably make it where it's 0.5 degrees off instead of 1 degree off or something like that, is their plan. I see a problem with this. It doesn't really fix the issue and the reason why everyone wants to use the tier 1 thermometer. The reason why everyone wants to use the tier 1 thermometer is because you can place it down and just let it update on its own. So, my suggestion for this is that we make it where the tier 1 thermometer can't be set down. All right, stay with me. I know that's a little confusing. How would you make a tier 1 thermometer be not set downable or not placeable, however you want to call it? My solution is they plan to add the randomness to that thermometer anyhow. Instead of adding the randomness constantly, while you're holding it in your hand, it stays accurate. But when you place it down on the ground, it's not accurate because it's like picking up ambient temperatures from the concrete, whatever you're setting it on. That room has been cold for a while, so you can get a false freezing from it. Stuff like that. Um, but yeah, that makes it where placeable. Well, it makes it where it's not going to be placeable anymore because of that, because you will not get an accurate reading no matter what. And also, the other major thing that makes that one still good, even if it did have that inaccuracy, because all the other ones already have that inaccuracy built in. We go ahead and make it where it's slower. A mercury thermometer in real life is not fast. Have you ever seen one? It takes a good solid like 10 minutes for it to get to freezing from 90 degrees or whatever you want to go ahead and have. I'm talking Fahrenheit, by the way, to get to 0 degrees Celsius from like 56. It takes a while. It's not fast. It will make it where it will be it'll make it where it'll be a pain for the tier 1 to go ahead and find the ghost room, immediately making you want to upgrade it, which is the whole point of tier 1. You're not supposed to want to hold on to it forever. So then, what are we going to do about the tier 2 and tier 3? So tier 2 will still have that randomness built in. You can hold it now, stick with their changes that they want to make, and we just make it where it is slightly more effective than the tier 1 thermometer. It will drop down to that correct temperature of the room quicker as you're holding it. Then that's about the only thing we need to do with the tier 2. The tier 2 is actually pretty well balanced in itself if the other two were balanced around it. Then there's the tier 3. For the tier 3 thermometer, all we have to do is make it 100% accurate and everybody will want it. You're never wrong on the temperature, and it gets to the proper temperature of the room pretty quickly. Not immediately, but pretty quickly. Like in 3 attempts, you'll probably be at the right temperature of the room. That will make it easily the most favorited one and not OP. But also with that, we don't want to lose out on the ability to go ahead and set and forget a thermometer. That's like the main perk of having a thermometer. Go ahead and have that hold feature while it's in your hand, but it's placeable, and you can go ahead and leave it on so it updates constantly. Why would you need a thermometer, especially an electronic one, that goes ahead and doesn't update constantly? Unless you're, like, poor in the game. You need to get that money going, you know? So that's my solution for the thermometers. All of those things are things that can come out in the next update that they plan to do already, if they chose to do that. So, if you like that or have any other suggestions for the thermometers in particular, make sure you comment them down below. And if you like the changes already, I think you're going to like the next one, but it's a little bit more wild on my plan for it. So, UV, the other most broken thing in the game. Well, most unbalanced thing in the game. And that's because it has two different explicit properties depending on which tier you're on. You can go ahead and get the radial glow from the glow stick, or you can get the UV light, which you can go ahead and set up so it's standing up and you can go ahead and check for fingerprints in an area. But them having two different explicit properties is just not good for tiering. For tiering, you need to have something that's slightly better in the same way to continuously improve it. I know why they did it originally. They did it so that you can still have the different varieties of UV that they already had included in the game. But here's my suggestion for this. And this one won't be a quick fix. This one will probably take time and effort to go ahead and go through. More so than their other updates. It'll be one that'll be down the line. But let's go ahead and separate those. Make there be a tier 1 pen light, kind of like the dots, except it's UV based. It does not stand on end, so you can't throw it up and have it land, making it worse than the tier 2 already. So you'll immediately want to upgrade to the tier 2 as soon as possible. Then the tier 3 will just be more powerful. Those two are perfectly balanced as is. Then, I know, you think we're just going to throw out that other UV, but no, we're going to do something else with it. We're going to have two different items that can be used for the same evidence. Crazy, right? Well, here's my theory on this. We go ahead and do that, and if you separate them out, first off, you can have 3 different tiers of that. You have the UV glow stick, which is just weak. It gives off like 3 meters or something like that to like away from it that actually lights up that UV, whatever's near. But it keeps it on charge essentially because it's constantly looking at it. So it gives you a different play style than the other lamps. Then tier 2 is a portable blacklight. They have mini blacklights. They're just basically LED strips that are blacklights. So you go ahead and have that. Have a weak one that's slightly stronger than the regular glow stick, maybe 7 meters, right? Then all you have to do is follow the same strategy. Third tier, just bigger area. So you can have 2 different options to get UV now. You're not going to have enough money to upgrade all this stuff at the same time. Make it where the money can go ahead and, all the items can't be unlocked until you reach at least level like 150. So if you are planning on prestiging, it's going to make a difference because you're going to start back over and you're not even have all the items unlocked. It's going to make some people want to stay, some people want to go. It's going to make you make a decision, which is great for game development. Also, it's going to introduce different play styles. I know it's the first time that any sort of item can be used for the same thing in 2 different ways. Or 2 different items that do the same thing. Now, after that, you have the potential, if this works out, to add more things like different types of flashlights or different types of writing books to get ghostwriting. Maybe you can go ahead and like get ghost painting or something and lay out some sort of art supplies that do something slightly different. I don't know. Just it opens up the door for more playstyle changes where not everybody's going to be doing the same thing. You're not just going to be following one specific path, and there's going to be more variety to it. You're going to unlock things at different times. And the only way you're going to go ahead and be able to unlock everything is if you reach like level 150 or something above level 100. So that way it's past the prestige. So then you have that decision. But anyhow, those are my ideas for the changes and what I want to talk about today. If you, like I said, if you did like any of those ideas, or if you have even better ideas, or just ideas in general that could improve the game, leave them down in the comments below. If you thought that these changes should be in the game, go ahead and go to the Phasmophobia Discord. I don't know, place a video in the video section of it so that they get to see this too, so that the devs actually get to see what the people want. That way they start working on the changes that we actually want to improve the game. Phasmophobia has been pretty good about that, but we still want to go ahead and as players, we like to get our way. You know that. No grief to the devs. But thank you for watching. This was the Newbie Taco, and I hope you had yourselves a taco time. And catch me in the next weekly challenge. Bye.